Dunkin' Donuts has a shortage of the donuts. A blind man accidentally shot his friend while trying to kick a roommate out. And a woman enters an MRI with a butt plug and ends up in the hospital. These are the weird stories for Weird AF News, the only daily weird news podcast doing weird stories daily. The daily stories are weird. These weird news stories are daily, only on Weird AF News, the only daily weird news podcast. It's daily, it's weird, and it's so weird that it's daily. Also weird. Dunkin' Donuts has a donut shortage. On the one hand, this is terrible news if you enjoy Dunkin' Donuts. On the other hand, this is great news for U.S. life expectancy. The fewer donuts we're all eating, I think the better we are health-wise. But I know people love their donuts. I'm not sure if people still enjoy Dunkin' Donuts donuts. The quality seems to have dropped in the past couple decades, I've noticed. Let's keep reading and find out the issue, what's caused it, and what they're going to do about it. The story's out of Omaha, Nebraska. Dunkin's dropped the donuts from its brand name years ago, as you know. And now, at least across Nebraska, New Mexico, and some other states, it doesn't even have donuts on the shelves either. Dunkin' stores in Omaha, Lincoln, and Grand Island, Nebraska all had 0 donuts in their cases over the weekend. They put signs on their doors, signs on their drive-through kiosks, informing customers that these pastries were unavailable due to what they're calling a manufacturing error. Are Dunkin' Donuts pastries? They say pastries. I'm even wondering if a donut is considered a pastry. I don't know. I think pastries are more like baked goods, whereas a donut is a fried good. Would you say they're pastries? Let's put it to a vote. Now, the good news is that some of these locations still have munchkins, which is what they call their donut holes. Have you guys ever availed yourself of a delicious little box of munchkins? Munchkins are great because you can eat a few and you don't feel so guilty. You know, you can have like 4 munchkins and it's like, yeah, it's better than 2 whole donuts. You know, at least in my mind, it's better. They interviewed a guy named Tyler, who's clearly a donut fan, specifically Dunkin' Donut fan. He stopped by the Dunkin's in West Omaha over the weekend. He works an overnight shift as a phlebotomist, so, you know, he's making some pretty good money because he works a job that ends in automist. Any job that ends in automist, I think you're doing okay in the paycheck department. Anyways, Tyler was seeking coffee and a chocolate cake donut. We have a lot in common, Tyler and I. I actually like cake donuts as well. The blueberry cake, fantastic. Anyways, Tyler stopped by for a coffee and a chocolate cake donut and then exclaimed, "What? No donuts? That's tragic," she said. Oh, Tyler's a she. Oh, I thought Tyler was a he in this story. My bad. Please don't cancel me out of the closet. Actually, please do. I don't want to be in the closet anymore. This trip wasn't a total loss, though, Tyler says. She says she was more interested in the coffee anyways. Of course, she needs coffee. She needs the fuel. She's working an overnight shift as a phlebotomist, probably very busy making that dough. Still, she was a little bit disappointed she couldn't get her donut. She said, hopefully they have them soon. Isn't that nice? By the way, Tyler, she's an actually sensible citizen. She doesn't go all Karen on the Dunkin' Donuts. She doesn't whip out her Uzi 9mm and start shooting up the Dunkin' Donuts drive-through kiosk employees. No, she just says, well, you know, hopefully they'll have them soon, and goes about her merry way, goes and works her job. That's how you do it, guys. All right, enough of the ranting. Back to the story. Throughout Albuquerque, New Mexico, and the surrounding suburbs, store after store also confirmed there's definitely a donut drought. Some employees chalked it up to a supply chain issue. Others say simply that delivery trucks have been arriving without the cargo that the chain is most famous for. Employees said they hope stocks would be replenished by next week. I'm going to have to say they're not famous for donuts anymore. I don't think people are going there for the donuts. It's mostly the coffee and the other sweet beverages. At one time, they were known for their donuts, but if you notice, they took donuts out of the title. It's just called Dunkin's now, and I think that's because they're really not known for their donuts anymore. They're known for sweet drinks, just like Starbucks. They've moved on to the sweet beverage craze. You know, walk into any Starbucks or a Dunkin's and watch the drinks that are being delivered. Half of them are stacked high with just awful ingredients like whipped cream and caramel, just stuff I would never get on my coffee. Otherwise, my friends would have kicked the crap out of me in Boston. Okay, if you don't know, Dunkin's is one of the largest coffee and donut brands, over 13,000 restaurants worldwide. That's a lot. The company was founded, as you probably know, in Massachusetts in 1950. In 2020, they were purchased for $11 billion by a private equity firm called Inspire Brands, which also owns Arby's, roast beef, and Buffalo Wild Wings. Very fascinating. Oh, we're learning here. A spokesperson for the company says that about 5% of Dunkin's U.S. stores have been impacted by this donut shortage. They said the company's still looking into what the issue is, how many stores were affected, but he said the company's already begun restocking at some of the affected stores. Well, this is what happens when you don't make your donuts on site, and they don't do that anymore, from my understanding. They used to do it. Dunkin's would do it. You remember the commercials way back in the day? The guy would wake up in the morning, time to make the donuts. Time to make, and he would go to a Dunkin's and actually make the donuts at the Dunkin's location. Well, that doesn't happen anymore. They truck them in every morning. Now that commercial would be time to get the donuts off the truck this morning. That would be the commercial. Am I doing any service to this at all? One more thing. I'm just going to say you should not be buying your donuts at big chains like this. You should support independent donut shops. A, because it's usually a local business, and B, they make the donuts there. They're more fresh. They're way more delicious. It's amazing. I live in Southern California, where most of the donut shops are independent. They kind of got a grip on it. They have not really allowed Dunkin's to penetrate the market here, to my satisfaction, because you can get amazing donuts here. And about 80% of the independent donut shops in California are owned by Cambodians. Fascinating, isn't it? I learned that by watching a documentary called Donut Man, which features the life of a Cambodian refugee that came to California and started opening up donut shops and helping other Cambodians start their own and open up their own donut shops. And now you have a situation where most of them are Cambodian run, and they make fresh, amazing donuts. They're inexpensive. A lot of them are open 24 hours a day. They have good coffee. Oh, I love these independent donut shops out here. So if you have an independent donut shop in your area, you should support that. Do not buy your donuts at these other joints. Okay, time to stop the ranting, Jonesy. A blind man accidentally shot his friend while trying to kick out his roommate. The story's out of Spokane, Washington. A 53-year-old man who was legally blind accidentally shot his friend in the leg, which was previously amputated below the knee. Wow, these details that are trickling out are a little bizarre. Okay, he shot his friend in his leg, which was previously amputated below the knee. Imagine that. You got a half a leg, and the guy still can't miss it. And he's blind. Of all, I mean, if you were going to put money on a blind man hitting the not amputated part of the leg, you would put your money on not hitting the not amputated part of the leg. Well, he hit it. And this all occurred while he was trying to kick a roommate out on Thursday in Spokane's North Hill neighborhood. Dan Phelps was arrested on suspicion of first-degree assault for trying to shoot his roommate, Daniel Perkins, while the gunshot victim of Phelps and Phelps's friend Joey did not want to press charges. Okay. Police were dispatched at 6 p.m. for the shooting on Hawthorne Street. Phelps's son told the police he lives with Phelps and Perkins and that he and his father have been trying to evict Perkins for several months now. All right. Doesn't say the reason. You know, hard to find a roommate that's normal these days, so it could be anything. Maybe he just snores too much. Maybe he's got smelly feet. Maybe he doesn't pay the bills. It could be that. The son told the police he and his father changed the locks while Perkins left the residence. Perkins broke into the basement bedroom window where Perkins was staying. This guy's staying in your basement. Yeah. People that agree to live in a basement, you got to keep an eye on them anyways. They're capable of anything. He said his father returned home and was upset Perkins returned to the house. Phelps called his friend Anselmo, saying that they were going to drag him out themselves. He told police his father armed himself because Perkins made comments such as, "I got friends coming over tonight, and y'all are going to be sorry." So he armed himself. Now, a lot of you are probably wondering, why is a blind man allowed to have a gun? I think it's okay. I think Second Amendment says it's a right to have a gun, and you can't be denied because of a disability. So This is why you have blind people owning guns, and there's even blind hunters out there. I've covered a story about blind hunters. They give them hunting permits. This is a thing. Now, the son says he was upstairs when he heard a gunshot. He then heard Phelps apologizing to Anselmo for shooting him. This is like a cartoon. This is a blind guy trying to evict his roommate, and he gets his gun to get him out, and then instead shoots his friend that came by, who's an amputee. It shoots him in the part of the leg that isn't amputated as he's trying to help him evict the guy. He said his father then fired his gun 3 or 4 more times into Perkins' door. My goodness, get this gun away from this blind man. Like, there's other people there that can see. They should be in charge of the gun in this moment. Just be like, hey man, just give me the gun. You can tell him to get out, and I'll be the gun guy. He told police he believed his father fired more shots out of anger because his father has a temper and was angry for shooting his best friend. The father, I'm so mad that I just shot my friend. Let me shoot a few more rounds, and I can't see. So this is what could possibly go wrong if I just start blasting. The son told police that he and Anselmo told Phelps to stop shooting, and he complied. Perkins told the police he's been looking for a new residence since Phelps has been trying to get him to move out for the last month and a half. Well, if this doesn't get you to move out, I don't know what will. A blind guy trying to shoot you? A one-legged friend trying to kick you out of a one-legged friend trying to kick you out of an apartment, and a blind guy with a gun outside your door shooting away? Like, you can't even make this stuff up. I think the craziest thing about this story is it isn't Florida, really. We got a statement from Phelps, the legally blind gunman. He's the blind gunslinger. This could be a video game. He says he can only see forms of light and some shadowy movement. He said he has been trying to get Perkins to move out because he wants his son to move into the basement. He told police he was angry that Perkins returned after he changed the locks earlier that day. He said Perkins refused to open the door, and he went upstairs to retrieve his handgun because he felt the situation was escalating. Phelps said he then heard the bedroom door shaking and believed Perkins might be coming out. Phelps told police he feared for his safety because of his limited vision and fired a single shot into the door, but that accidentally struck Anselmo, his one-legged friend. As he was helping Anselmo up the stairs, he fired another round into the door, just for good measure. I know a lot of you are listening to these details of this story in another country, and you just can't believe that this is happening somewhere in the world. Yeah, it is. It's happening here. This is what we get. Everybody's got guns and so comfortable using them, and whenever there's a disagreement, an altercation, you got a huge population that is just reaching for firearms to settle it. So sad. So scary.
Hey, Todd, Daddy, how you doing?
A woman is badly injured when she brought a metal sex toy into an MRI machine. I don't even know how you get a metal sex toy in there, man. How do you... They ask you so many questions about metal before they let you into an MRI. They interrogate you about having metal on you, having metal in you. They're like, are you even thinking about metal objects? They won't let you in there. They're so anti-metal. I've been there. I've had 3 MRIs in my life, and they interrogate you about having metal. Like, what is this lady doing? Is she completely drunk when she goes to get her MRI from the night before? All right, let's get some details. A woman was left with horrific injuries after leaving a sex toy inserted during a scan. It's inside her. The patient had the sex toy in her back passage. They're calling it a back passage. Are you trying to tell me this is a butt plug? Is that what's going on? She had a butt plug? No, it's called a back passage plug, all right? So no one gets offended by the word. She had the sex toy in her back passage, also known as the prison pocket, when she went for the MRI, which resulted in a dangerous reaction with the scanner. Yeah, you think so? You got a metal back passage sex toy in you? In an MRI? How do you even get it in there? Not get it in your back passage. How do you get it in the MRI? Why are you wearing it in? I don't even know. Can you call that wearing it when it's inside you? Is that considered fashion? Don't kink shame, Jonesy. That's a fashion statement. An MRI scan uses strong magnets and radio waves to create highly detailed images of the inside of your body. If you don't know, it's important and it's necessary to remove any metal objects from your body before having an MRI. Yes, and they totally grill you about that before you even get there. And then when you're there, the lady pats you down, basically. No, they don't really pat you down, but the one I went to, they didn't have a metal detector of any sort. They just ask you 1,000 times, do you have anything in you that could be metal, on you that could be metal? It says, unbeknownst to the woman, the sex toy she had inserted into her anal cavity, she thought was 100% silicone. It actually contained metal in the core. All right, so she's kind of off the hook for, not knowing that there's metal in it, but still, why are you running errands with this thing inside you? I don't understand these people. An image of this item being dragged up through the patient's body has been circulating online. Oh, I'm not going to look at that because that's going to be horrific. This prompts warnings against wearing any metal objects during a scan. You don't have to put out a warning about that. All right, everybody knows that. The new warning should be, don't even go into an MRI with a sex toy inside you. Oh, it's so funny that you have to now say this. And this is why you ever wonder when you're filling out paperwork for a procedure or something, you're like, why are they asking me this dumb question? It's because one idiot way back in the day did something stupid like this, and now there's a question on the questionnaire that makes no sense for 99.9% of the population that's actually has common sense. No, they don't have common sense, but they're sort of normal. Yeah, and now because of this idiot, next time any of us go to get an MRI, on the paperwork, there's going to be a question that says, do you have any metal inside your butthole? You could be like, why would I have metal in my butthole? Where's this question coming from? It's coming from this moron. Either that or they're going to just install metal detectors before you go in. But, some of these places don't have the budget for that sort of stuff. I don't know about you, but every time I got an MRI, it's been in like a mobile trailer truck. You know what I'm talking about? The MRI was in like a mobile trailer truck. Not in like a hospital or anything, because I got terrible insurance, so this is what I'm getting. So there's there's not going to be no metal detector or anything like that. There's a questionnaire about metal, and that's going to be that. So if you don't answer it honestly, you could have a sex toy dragged up your body, and that's exactly what happened. This butt plug was pulled through the patient's rectum and up into their chest cavity at the speed of sound. The patient survived with major injuries. I mean, this is a nightmare. These objects can really fly through your body. It says here, the speed at which ferromagnetic materials move in an MRI field is proportional to the mass of the object and how far away from the magnetic field that it is. Things such as paper clips or hairpins could easily reach 40 miles per hour if within the field. As this toy was predominantly silicone with a metallic core, there is potential that it moved at speed, but not close to the speed of sound. Well, I mean, even if it's partially the speed of sound, that's a little too fast for a butt plug to be moving up my chest cavity. This poor woman, I'm surprised she survived. This is the second MRI-related story I believe I've covered on this podcast, because I covered one last year that was about somebody bringing their gun into the MRI machine and it went off. Like, you got to be hella dumb to do any of this stuff, but people are this dumb. And this is why our insurance rates keep going up, man.
Oh, Pod Daddy. Good luck with your life, man.
La la dee, la la dee. Isn't that a song of some sort? I think it could be. I heard it somewhere. Hi, everybody. This is your buddy Jonesy. I'm hanging in there. I hope you are as well. I hope you had a nice weekend, by the way. And I want to thank everybody who reached out to me over the weekend. Very sweet people reaching out, saying, are you okay, Jonesy? Are you on fire? You going to be all right? What happened to your car, Jonesy? Do you have no car? Yes, I have no car. I'm trying to work that out right now. I don't know when I'm going to get this insurance check, but Jonesy's meanwhile shopping for a car on Craigslist. That's what's going on. That's my life right now. Guess I'm looking for a low mileage, very fuel economical fuel vehicle. All right, that's what I'm looking for. Nothing splashy here. Anyways, I appreciate all the love and support. You guys are very, very sweet, looking out for me. I'm gonna be all right. I have my health. What more do I need? Huh? I have my health, and I have this podcast, and I have you guys, and what else do I have? I got a pretty cool pair of sneakers. I'm living it up. I'm doing all right. I'm doing all right. I'm gonna be okay. I got some points on my Sprouts card, so I mean, life is good right now. Life will be all right. Anyways, hope you had a wonderful weekend, and I'm going to keep this brief because I'm almost at 20 minutes. So listen, just if you want to reach out, it's funnyjones@gmail.com. My Instagram is @funnyjones. Please subscribe to the podcast if you'd like daily news that's weird. That's what we do over here. Just keep in mind, I do a lot of rambling. Rambling and singing is what you're getting. Very bad accents and the mispronunciation of many foreign places and names, which could be construed as culturally insensitive on some level. That's what you get at Weird AF News. I should write all that out and put it on the description of this podcast. That would be hilarious. If you want to support the show, I got a website, weirdafnews.com. That's where you can buy me coffee or you can join the Patreon. Those are nice things that you can do. Okay, guys, I love you very, very much, and I'll see you tomorrow.